yourself and tell me morning.
Yes, morning neighbor.
Morning neighbor, morning. Morning neighbor, morning. Morning, I know what you can even morning. Neighbor, neighbor, joke up. Neighbor, neighbor, joke up. Neighbor, neighbor, joke up. That's all the money that me walk for. A 2 pound note and a guilder piece. A 2 pound note and a guilder piece. A 2 pound note and a guilder piece. This is all the money that me walk for.
I said morning neighbor.
Morning neighbor, morning. Morning neighbor, morning. Morning, I know what you can even morning.
Oh, Joseph.
Well, I invoke the WPA's position that we are engaging in civil disobedience and non-cooperation with the government, and on that grounds I refuse to participate in the interview. The question in struggle, is not personal. Whatever sacrifice as a political activist or a political leader you have to make for your people, you have to make it.
Guyana and Guyanese, at home and abroad. Tune in to Guyanese Morning Time, hosted by Kadaki Amsterdam, where the sun always shines. Guyanese Morning Time, the people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. We rise up early morning watching Kams Tv, where wisdom and knowledge, yes, it is the key. Exposing corruptions over land and sea, where the wicked politicians they try to trick me. Guyana is a land for everybody. With 6 races should live in harmony. Is one set of people getting aisle money. Is one set of people doing the thievery. Beep, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. This is a program that you all can see, sharing your views and your integrity. Like it, comment and share it all around. Pass it to your neighbor, safe and sound. A sad situation going on in this town. The voice of the people is getting trampled down. Out of the mouths of babes and sucklings, which Jah has ordained me to sing. I sing Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, fooling the people. You're promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. Stop fooling people. You're promoting evil. Stop lying to the people. You are a part of the cycle. I say Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese Morning Time. The people calling Guyanese Morning Time. Rhythm, Guyanese Morning Time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again. They got Breakford, Bork and Mark Benchcop. David Hines and Kadaki Amsterdam. Sherrod Duncan, Nigel London. Normal Brown and Gavin Matthews. Big up Paslow, Port People Governor. Simona Brooms, Robin Simpson. Hampton Green and Winston Jordan. And yes, we can go right on and on. Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again, Guyanese morning time. The people calling Guyanese morning time. Rhythm, Guyanese morning time. Intelligence and knowledge run the front line. We go again.
The relatives and friends of young Quindon Bacchus, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives and friends of our in Boston, they deserve justice. The family, the relatives and friends of Peter Headley, they deserve justice.
And so when we say that Guyana is an apartheid state, we have the evidence to show.
It's soiree. Remember, I'm telling you our vibes. Make your way up to Burbies for the season.
Hey, friends and family, the People's Economic Development Society presents a bus ride. A ride from Mocha to Belgium on September 30th. Departure time from Mocha is 6 a.m. Farmers and entrepreneurs will interact. Market day exposition, domino competition, raffle drawing. Be part of it all. Contact us on 678-1269 or 646-4490, 686-9899. Let's take a bus ride from Mocha to Belgium. Tickets cost only $5,000. Be part of the attractions and activities, market day, domino competition, raffle drawing, and lots of fun. It's the People's Economic Development Society bus ride on September 30th, 2023. Come, let's go!
You put in a 12 cents meatball, you was gonna lice. I gonna give you a word of advice. Take your meat out my rice.
You can get meat anywhere, but for the best cuts of chicken, beef, pork, mutton, and lots more, check out T&W Harris Butcher Shop, located in the East Remvelt Market Meat section. Call us on 609-2049. Ask for Rastaman. T&W Harris Butcher Shop brings you the best in fresh cut meats and lots more. Morning, neighbor, morning. Morning, neighbor, morning. You're not like me conniving, morning. Connivance is not a good thing. Y'all morning. Welcome to the program. How are you doing? It is 7 hours 34 on the 9th day of August in the year 2023. Welcome to the program. How you been? How was it yesterday? Was last night a good night? Did you make memories? Did you sleep well? Did you make money? What happened last night? Y'all tell me. In the world of quick, them say, show me your last wine before you lay down. So you got to wine your last line before you sleep. How you do? Morning, it's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. It's Free Talk Friday, Dad. So today we're going to talk freely. According to my friend Boss Mode Patsy Loose today. Oh, y'all do, y'all been keeping. I've started a campaign. Oh, did I say August? Yes, today's the 8th of September. What did I say? 9th of August or something? Okay. Today's the 8th of September. Thank you, Audrey. It shows that you're listening, you know. Sometimes us educators make mistakes to students to correct, so we know if they're paying attention. That was an aside. Morning, how y'all do? What's going on? How y'all make money? Well, I got some business to tell y'all about this morning. So let me start by telling you, if you have anything to move, we have an enclosed canter for rental. Right? Good. If you have anything to move, there's an enclosed canter for rental. You want to move a barrel or 2 or 3 or 4, some of y'all let's get 10 barrels at one time. Call me on 622-5933. I'll hook you up with a canter so that you can get your stuff moved. Good? What else I got? Of course, if you want a place to relax during the week, you can come to Club Twilight. Yes, you can relax at Club Twilight. The drinks are good and the atmosphere is wonderful. I will never forget that lady that told me when she came for quick. When she came early and she sat there. And when she was leaving, she said, Mr. Amsterdam, I'm going to enjoy myself. I come early and I sit down and buy this place is so comfortable. I feel like I did home. It is so comfortable and relaxing. You almost enjoy that same atmosphere. You must get that experience. Come to Club Twilight for that experience. Tonight is Friday. We're going to do some karaoke and whatever else you want to do. Just come down and relax. After a stressful week with people like Priya, who can't count, you need some relaxation. Some of you got some terrible bosses, so you need to relax. Come to Club Twilight. And while you're at Club Twilight, food will be provided by Lou's Kitchen. So you can order food ahead of time. If you know you're coming to Club Twilight and you like your chicken fried, baked, broiled, you like it rotisserie, call ahead and say, Mr. Amsterdam, I'm coming with a crew. I want so many servings of X, Y, and Z. Right? We got a little sauce too. Good. You can get a little sauce too. So call ahead and say what you want so we could ensure that it's available for you when you get here. Rhonda said she has had many times. I don't know what she's talking about, if it's good or bad times. But nevertheless, it's good if you call ahead and say what you want for cutters, what you want on your table when you get here, and so on and so forth, so that we can engage somebody in the kitchen to get you stuff. But whatever you do, come down to Club Twilight tonight and have some fun. What else they got? Oh, they got tables, chairs, and tents to rent. You're looking for table covers or tablecloths to rent, they got that. They got chair covers to rent. You want chair covers to rent, they got that. You want sashes to rent, they got that. You want napkins, they got that. You want charger plates, they got that. What do you want to rent? EC Party Rentals has a whole lot of things to rent you. So you don't have to go break in the bank to celebrate. You just pay a rental and some things you set up and you have a beautiful atmosphere and you enjoy whatever event you have. So again, call me at 622-5933. I'll hit you up. I'll set you up with EC Rentals so you can get chairs, tables, tents. Okay? Cocktail tables, cocktail table covers, a regular tablecloth, napkins, napkin holders, decorative lights, sashes, chair covers. Those are just some of the things I can remember EC Party Rentals has to rent. So if you're looking for something, you're planning an event, hit me up, I would link you up. That's how the thing going. I like being a middleman. The man in the middle. Right, good. So hit me up for those things. Of course, if you're looking for fresh cut meat, check out T&W Butcher Shop in East Rhinebeck Market. T&W Harris. You've been hearing the advertisement. But if you missed it and you don't know the number, hit me up. I'll give it to you. Today is Friday. So Marcus Johnson is asking where's the location. For which one of these things? Club Twilight. Club Twilight is located at Sideline down Buxton. That's the sideline before, the sideline between Annandale and Buxton. It is the sideline as soon as you reach the Welcome to Buxton sign. Once you're coming from Georgetown and you see Welcome to Buxton, make a left up the sideline there and you will see Club Twilight. The flags strewn across the road and so on, so you can't miss it. Right? Club Twilight is right there. Again, coming from Georgetown, Welcome to Buxton sign, make a left. And keep coming up the road. You will get to Club Twilight. Good? Those of you who want to look for extra landmark, right there at the junction, you have a blue and white water tank. This big overhead water tank that guy will uses around the country. Yes, one of them is up in the air there. Good. Right, so we're still talking about some business. Today's Creole Fridays. We doing Metem. The thing is pre-order your Metem so we can cater for you. Okay? Right now we got some orders and we have a few that we can take orders from. You know you never cook exact, right? My mother always taught us, don't cook exact. Somebody might walk through the door. And if you ain't cook little extra, you might end up got to give them your food. So yes, you can hit us up. We got a few more Metems that, a few more portions of Metem that can be ordered. Good, that is that. It is Friday. It's Free Talk Friday. The line is open. I am campaigning for Kevin Lorimer. I want the man to be Minister of Agriculture because he's a very successful farmer. Anybody agrees with me that Lorimer should be the Minister of Agriculture? He might do better than Deodat. Is Deodat the man name? Because they say he ain't making much sense. Y'all might be surprised. But do you know your sugar has been coming from Brazil for several, maybe years now? Brazil and, is it Argentina? First call for the morning.
Yes.
Now, why if you know first bird or the bird gets the fattest worm and also the farmer's bullet? Call your life. Good morning.
Good morning and a pleasant good morning to your viewers. We in the diaspora and my brothers and sisters in Guyana, Sufferation Guyana under the PPP installed rigors. You know, Mr. Kadaki, the carnage on the road. I saw a guy yesterday on a motorbike with a gaping wound in his head. And the ambulance not there for Irish country. I on Share Duncan and I read it in the news. The two farmer in the Secretable River that they fish out with a bashing of the head. And some other person that they find, an Indian person that being born, they find in rubbles. What wrong with these people? It clearly showing that this government is a sacrificial government. Without them in gather blood, things can't run for them. And they're not fixing shit. Jagdio sit down like he on a pulpit with the murderous self and talking a setup, priffle out his mouth. Everything he talk is lies. Even to the babe suckling in the cradle could feel it. Everything he talking is lie. The population in Guyana is so little, and we got to suffer. You're talking about road and school and bridges. Build them on your back. Your back supposed to got space for that, Jack Dio. You just sit down comfortable like a devil. You're seeing the kind of greed in the face. What you do with all that money? What you do with all that money and that people? Look how much school not opening. What this guy really talking about? They don't have shame. So many school children can't turn out to school. You're not providing lunch. What's wrong with these people? How are you governing like that? You know? In Granger time, you never got so much carnage on the road. You got things in place, Clifton, Ickens, and all of them running around this place, Rooks and Ben. Come on. All they're doing, thieving the oil money, money. They don't broke up the gold industry, they broke up the timber, they broke up all the other industry. And when they're going to pull it down flat, they get an old saying, the three destructive thing on the face of the earth is mongoose, woodans, and Jack Dio them. And it would never stop until they get out of power. Guyanese got to get up and get these people out. Jack Dio is too comfortable. Country don't run how they run in a country. Country don't run how they run in a country. And that one shit, Sarah, and length with your face like when you're straining for ease your bowels. Get out the country. The mission ain't complete so she can't live. They're like them vampire. Well, every country that I let, they suck it out. I don't know what to say. But God will provide, and we will get there. You have a blessed day and continue with this show.
Thank you.
It's just time. Thank you, my brother. Have a blessed day.
I want who is Marilyn Lorimer? Let hear what Marilyn saying here. Marilyn Lorimer. Give me a call, girl. I want to hear who is a madman and why. But y'all recognize something? Y'all Marilyn, are you related to Kevin? Huh? Is another Lorimer dealing with? Are you Mrs. Lorimer? Hey, hold on, wait. Morning, listen, y'all tuned to Guyanese Morning 10. There's so many things that's on my mind this morning. But let's talk. It's Free Talk Friday. Call it live.
Good morning, Kadaki, and to the entire listening public. Now, Barticle Stelling is in the process of being built, and it has crumbled into the river, Kaitinda by the sea. One of the projects of the PPP. You heard the song Brotherhood on the boat, but now it's death on the Northwest boat. They claim that the boat is ill ventilated and the boat is sucking in some nasty water. And that is what they say caused the death of the woman on board the Northwest vessel. Now, when I spoke about this installed government and their abuses to women, you have other women who fitting into that. Annette Ferguson, who is a woman and cannot get her money from one of the male operatives, supposed to be the male operatives of the party. And not forgetting the woman who they roll in the mud, make me remember my poem, I had a little pony, his name was Applegate. I lent him to a lady to ride a mile away. She whipped him, she lashed him, she rolled him through the mire. I would not lend my pony now for all the ladies hire. Now, Kadak, you could remember we had the incident at our emancipation with one Clayton Jacobs when we all stood up and did not allow the uninvited guests to say anything at our emancipation program. We had a son of the soil, Mr. Marcus, a teacher, a lecturer, an educator. He even assisted in writing some textbooks for the secondary schools. He came and he did our emancipation speech. He was our guest speaker. Now, if this minister had proper upbringing and according to Laurie Alexander, proper brought up, see, when she came to the community center grounds and she realized we did not want her, she would have taken her retreat graciously, unknowingly to us, and it wouldn't have caused any way running along. Now they ended up charging Clayton for prohibiting her from making a speech, which she was nowhere on her cards to give a speech. Anyway, when this matter went to the Lenore police station, where my own was, Clayton went to court along with a lawyer. To my surprise and to Clayton's surprise, the prosecutors have told him that they cannot find his jacket. Why I am bringing this up? Because it was just so when they were not finding my jacket for me to pay my fine. And 2 days before they found the jacket, they issued our committal warrant, and they were looking to put me in prison for 1 year. And I know had I gone into the prison, I would have come out like Smalling. Now the last one, Ravi Delph, over during the week, I don't know when, he has made me pass, but I know I'd done pass. I don't waiting for Ravi Delph, because he lashed out at Dr. Heinzel, claiming that there is a woman who is always on the racist show, calling out the Kuli people. And also I said that they came from the slums of India, from the province of Calcutta. Well, he has given me the full marks, because he said that they did come from the slums of Calcutta. However, they came for 5 years, and when they were finished in the slums, they moved into the villages, and I'm quite certain those are the impoverished villages, because I know they're going to go to Punjab province, Delhi, and all them fancy provinces where the elite live, to bring them here to work as indentured laborers. So Ravi Delph has cleared me, and all the Indian people who were jumping down on me and saying that I was very derogative and demeaning to them, let them transfer that now to Ravi Delph, who has confirmed what I say to be the truth last. Now Doctor, this thing with the Gladstone brothers and they talk about churches and so, I know that we as slaves, we were governed by the Bible to keep us in place. Because you read the Bible, God said this and them different things. But prior to that, we all know the role that the churches did play in our keeping down as slaves on the plantation. So it is not about as our history, our birthright, our practices, and everything that was being stripped away. We used to be serving a God. So after this now, because remember, you take away, you strip us completely, and you give us this. And as a God-fearing people, we now accepted what was now replaced. Because remember, you wiped us of our history. Unlike the other people who came here as indentured laborers and were allowed to keep their names, their customs, and their religion. That was not so with the African slaves. So it's not that we don't want to we are governed by church. God-fearing, we accept it. But the right thinking, African are like me. I know what the church was to me. I wouldn't throw away the church. But with all I am in the church, I am conscious of my history. I don't walk away from my history. My history is me. Without that, I am nobody. So people have got to know where there must be a cutoff point with the church and the acceptance of their history. That's all for now. Bye-bye.
Thank you for your call, Rondo. Hi, Marlene. Morning.
Morning, Mr. Kadaki. Listen, I am not related to Kevon Lorimer. So let me put that out there right away.
Not the ounce of blood. I don't know the script. Continue.
And that thing that he was talking about, boats, bicycles, breakfast, and all of that, he has to admit that that was in Mr. Granger's time. Had nothing at all to do with the PPP. However, these are my thoughts, right? He is now trying to seek relevance, and it's not working because everybody knows the truth, right? So Kevon didn't make no sense with that post yesterday, or whenever it was that he had the post. Now, Mr. Jagdio had one hell of a speech yesterday, and I'm going to say what was said before. Those whom the gods wish to punish, they first make mad. And that's my conclusion when it comes to Jagdio. Because I don't know what he was talking about. If it is, right, you have 49% of the Guyanese nation that is suffering because of a handshake, right? What also came out of his speech was that he is the president and not Ali. Right? I don't know where he get that from, but it just shows the need for power. It's all about power. I'm not going to go into the carnage on the road and the murders and all of that, because we're seeing that every day. And it's just a repetition of when the PPP was in government before. I remember the song, How Many More? That's the song that I got fed up of hearing 8 o'clock every morning, and I decided to run. So Mr. Jagdio did not make any sense yesterday. He was contradicting himself all the time. Now, for the education system, what I see, especially with that story in my Coney, I think it is, all they're trying to do is take our ancestral lands, brother. That's all they're trying to do. If you're going to put a housing scheme in there is need for a school, correct? So how now you having all these issues with the people? Fix the damn school. That's what I got to do. Fix the school. Fix the system so that children can go to school. They're the next generation. They're the persons who have to lead whoever will be there. What is your intention? Is it that education is not important? Because we all know that you got people whose buy certificates and all that. You got a questionable university in IFLOT and all that sort of thing. So Mr. Jagdio did not make any sense yesterday. Have a pleasant day. I repeat, I am not related to Kevon Lorimer. He is the madman.
But that's why the man can be Minister of Agriculture.
Yes.
The man is very efficient.
Exactly.
He's an efficient farmer.
Efficient farmer with what? Now, if you're doing livestock, right? If any farmer would tell you, if you're doing livestock, is an investment you can't be too sure of, because you're going to get chickens that will not make it and all that stuff. Crazy guy. That's what he is.
Thank you. Have a good day. But we lost that one.
That's what he is.
Good morning. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
This is Flash Garden. Good morning to you and all my black brothers and sisters. Happy Friday to all of you guys. Flash Garden always learn not to take licks as a man, but to represent himself as a man. Yesterday, the caller called in and said, hey, Flash Garden believe he know it all. No, Flash Garden believe he know it all.
Flash Garden?
My grandmother, pardon me?
Flash.
Yes.
Yesterday's long gone.
Well, okay, let me say what I have to say for today's program. Yes or no?
Go ahead.
All right, good. Why I always say that PNC should not go back with AFC is because of the mistakes they keep making and what they've done to black people and them children in Guyana coming out from AFC. Number one, I was in Guyana 2011 after that election. Jagan's son, Joey said plain, he called Tratman a rat, a Judas. And he said why? Because when they come together 2011 for knock out PPP, he backed out to the last and said no. Number two, this is what Sarandar say under his brother basement. I will speak loud so my black brother and sister could understand Flash Garden. That when Ramdatan approached for the job for MP, he said no. Ramdatan said why? Because I have Canadian citizen. He said don't worry that. Both parties have Canadian citizen. Ramdatan know that there and then he should disqualify him because he know the Constitution. He went to school and he's a liar. But deep down in all of them heart, them still living by the word Apanjat. That is what's happening today. That's why I said, PNC should not go back. Let PNC join with WPA. Because WPA will never do what Samadas did. The third, Ramdatan came out from coalition. In the time, if he loved black people, he would have stayed with the coalition. But he stepped out and said, if for him, he would have stayed with the coalition. But it's not him, it's the board members. And Flash Garden said it. 95% of the board member is black. So automatically, he showed the black man them under the bus and tell we black people, hey, it's not me, Cody man, and the black people over Iowa throwing them the bus. And I say over and over and over, that is the reason why we should not go back. Did you ever see Ramdatan take his supporters them and the members them for AFC and go in front of the Singh building and protest for clean voter lists? Did you see Ramdatan ever go? He's a leader now. He's a leader. Did you ever see Ramdatan go anywhere in the black neighborhood and protest with black people? But we see he went and protest and fight for the Cody. When they was striking, they kicked out them. He was there. But up in Boy, beside him, we got a lot of black came cut too, fighting. He ain't go there. Did anyone here could tell Flash Garden that he has seen Ramdatan ever fight for any black boy and black girl as a liar represent them? But he represent the Amerindian sister with a rape story. You represent Judith 23 year with PPP. You represent, I believe, an Indian boy or American boy. When the police them born in private in the lockup, you represent that boy and win that case. I tell Flash Garden why PNC must link up back with AFC when they pull out. In a time when they for stand strong together and save black people land, he pull out because he want Jack Dio control everything. That is the reason why he pull out. We should not fall back in that mess. We should not fall back in that mess, my black brother and sister. That I said, we shall not go back with AFC. And AFC is using the man in the ring, because I would not surprise to hear he become president candidate for AFC or prime minister candidate, because they could always doing that nonsense, putting black man for prime minister candidate, for black man vote. Now I heard Panchewan Duncan again. He going to Georgia. Let me tell you, MP. And you and an MP fighting for black people and teaching us and telling us what to expect and what we must do. He going to Georgia again, and he going to Rickford Borg conference. I do hope Rickford Borg listening to Flat Garden. I do hope you inviting Mr. David Isdale and Mr. Abinat as an opposition leader to meet those folks. I do hope Rickford Borg doing that. And if Rickford Borg doing that, then Flash Garden will argue on that you against our opposition leader Abinat in Guyana too. Thank you for your day. Have a lovely weekend.
Thank you for your call, Flash Gordon. I know that you brought up the diaspora conference that's coming up. Rickford Borg CGID diaspora conference. Let me ask you, all, should I go to that conference? Because Flash Gordon has a problem with Shara Duncan going to the conference. Am I allowed to go to that conference, folks? Should I? Y'all talk to me. I need to know. I need to know. There's some things I wanted to talk about. The lines are still open. But let me start by talking about the word fatality. I don't believe nothing but sacrifice. Blood covenant and sacrificial government and all of that. I usually say look at people's behavior and you're going to know the value they place in life. Look at people's behavior and you will know the value they place in life. Let's assume this blood covenant and sacrificial government thing holds true. I'm at risk. You're at risk. Only motorcyclists this demon want? Or certain kinds of motorists? Sometimes we have to blame our own selves, mankind. The devil look like us, quite frankly. The way people behave tells me the value they have in life. And when you look at many of these motorcyclists, check your fatality figures. You recognize two things. Number one, most of the fatalities are motorcyclists. Well, no, let me say most. A large number of fatalities are motorcyclists. And number two, a large number of casualties or fatalities are young people. So this blood demon they want old people. It doesn't want old people who are riding motorcycles. It doesn't want old people who are driving motor vehicles, operating motor vehicles. Our young people are callous. And we have to address that callousness. We as family members, we have to sit our young people and make them understand. A motorcycle is not a toy. A motor car is not a toy. As a matter of fact, they are dangerous weapons, especially when they find their hands in irresponsible people, in the hands of madmen, I would normally say. Look at the behavior of these motorcyclists on the road. I'm a driver, so I can tell you. Sometimes I just cuss up in my car. they undertake, they ride on the wrong side of the road, they weave in and out of traffic, most times not without any protective gear. They retrofit their motorcycles to disturb the whole neighborhood when they're passing. But when law enforcement pays attention to them, this is harassment. Sometimes it's just to save them from themselves. You know, I saw a report of an accident took place, I think last night or early this morning. I think it was about 1:10 this morning based on the report. Of a motorcyclist crashing into a vehicle at the junction of North Road and Camp Street. And he died. You know what? I don't laugh at the death of anybody. But the death of every man diminishes me. But some things are comical. You know, one of the first thing I noticed? The motorcyclist was one-legged. He was amputated from below the knee. That perhaps was his right leg, if I remember the position of the photograph. So it's a 1-foot man riding a motorcycle. My guess is he lost that leg riding that motorcycle. Anybody knows him and knows the story, let me know. Because I rather suspect he lost that leg riding a motorcycle. But did that stop him from being reckless? Because according to the story, he was damn plain straight reckless. So it has to be ironical. If you lost a leg being reckless, and you continue being reckless, you had a point to prove with that. Our young people are just simply callous. I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a story. I was working with the Ministry of Public Security. Yeah, around the time ministry. Well, it was a project. I think it was an IDB project. So I was working as a community action officer, recruiting young people for training and so on and so stuff. The kind of thing I like as an educator. And I had a 125 motorcycle I used to ride. Because it was convenient, it was low consumption and so on, and you could quickly go around the villages and meet people and so on. As against you drive a car, you had to come out and walk and so on and so forth. And one day I'm coming from Georgetown on Sherry Street. And just in the vicinity of OMG, there are some vulcanizing shops on the left-hand side of the road. A driver wanting to go into one of these vulcanizing shops swung in front of me just as the traffic light changed and I came over. He came over too. Swung in front of me and bops, that was it. Scrape up, whitey like wild. You know that was the last time the bike get ride? Never rode that bike again. That is how I ended up getting a car. Because as a youngster, I used to always say motorcycle is incomplete. It's an incomplete vehicle. My body represents the frame of that vehicle. And so there's nothing protective around me. It's incomplete, it's protecting me. I always say that as a young man, and I tried not to get a motorcycle for all of my youth. And then because of this job and the convenience of a motorcycle, I was riding. We have to talk to our youths. We have to get them to understand the value of life. It is the same failure to value life, let me say, that causes them to get into all kinds of illicit dealings. the drug dealing, the alcohol splurging, the late at night, everything. Yeah. We have to address that among our youths, or we will continue to lose them. Don't let me blame no demon. The devil always take a blame for stupidity. Call A Live, good morning.
Morning, Kadaki. Before I go on, that man had a right foot, right? He didn't have right foot, it was left foot. And something I used to ride motorbike too. When I got my son, I stopped because I was crazy. And I realized, this is irresponsible things that I'm doing. Stop, you got people to live for. But one of the things, remember, he lost his right foot. Therefore, he can't use our back brakes. The back brakes is the brakes that should always be used. The front brakes is used as emergency brakes. Right? And when you apply that front brakes in speed, you know what's going to happen. Even on that bicycle, you apply front brakes, is it head over heels? Exactly. And, I just had that thing mentally, and I got a friend who is a cop over here that is a motorcycle cop. You see, you go to the Harley Davidson school, you go anywhere, they're going to tell you that front brakes, it should come back to service, not even being used. The back brakes is the one should be changing all the time. So this is what maybe happened to him. He panicked and boom, he couldn't use the back brakes anyhow because he ain't got right foot, right? Good. You see the talking with the two mouth from them two fellas, the I flood Manor and Mrs. Sue. One saying one thing and the next one saying the other thing. We got to continue to push for the confusion. Continue to highlight these things, confuse them, and let the two of them. It's like when you and a friend, right, in the center of something, and, you're telling one friend something, the other one telling the other friend something, what's going to happen? We get a big fight. So we got to press on so we could get a big fight between them. Just keep highlighting them all the time, calling them out all the time. And you're going to see the two of them going to get a big showdown soon time come. So people continue to do it. I remember 12 trees is 26. Have a good day.
Thank you, caller. Well, the caller took me at the other place that I wanted to go to. I don't know what you're going to do about Priya. She's a tired girl. She has failed at math. Just when I thought there was some hope for the girl because she learned that love is a verb. She failed at math. What are you going to do about her? Call A Live, good morning. Caller, good morning.
Hi, good morning, Kadaki. Good morning to the listening public. Listen, these guys with the motorcycle, when they reach a certain age, you can't talk to them. All they want is to buy a motorcycle. Right? They want is to buy a motorcycle. That is all they want in life. And you can't speak to them. Right? Now, these guys, when you're driving, it's just like, you just be confused when they start to wheel in and out of you and doing all these things. And if you touch one of these guys with your car, that is the biggest problem, right? Because they tell themselves that they are right and you are wrong, right? Secondly, is that I just want to say again to Mr. Flash Garden, let him please understand the situation, the political situation in Guyana. He might not know what is going on, right? And as I say again, we need all the opposition on board, right? And he must not just talk off the top of his head. We need the opposition, all the entire opposition on board, and somebody needs to tell him that. I understand his concern, but somebody needs to tell him that we need all the opposition on board. And this guy, the VP, I think that he's going senile or something. Something is wrong with him because he just talks and talks and talks, and it seems as though he has become a propaganda machine, right? He follows the pattern of Putin and the Rocket Man, from North Korea, right? He wants to be like them in a dictatorship. So something is wrong with him. So this is my contribution this morning.
Thank you for your call. I don't know what's wrong with them. Because I would believe it's the whole clique of them. Something wrong with all of them. If y'all could figure it out, tell me. You see, let me tell you something. When people don't have a respect for systems and structure, we end up with problems like the one we're getting with Satira Gal. Right? Because I can't understand the textbook is being printed and it's printed with 312 equals 26. It means a whole lot of people failed. A whole lot of people have failed at their jobs. And so all of them should be disciplined and dismissed, including prayer. Call me live, good morning. Call me live, good morning. Yes, we can.
Oh, okay, thanks very much. I support the call who had called before and was saying concerning the VP. But I think that the vice president need to be placed in observation ward. They need to get a psychologist to examine that man's brains. And Guyanese need to understand that man is insane. And you cannot have an insane person controlling the whole nation. I remember when the other man was imitating himself playing a doctor. He was around plenty hospital, certifying vaccine and all kind of thing. And only they ever discovered that this man was an impersonator. He was never ever a doctor. And it's something like that. Mr. Jack Doe is not worthy of being in that position. And I want to tell Mr. Ali again, Mr. Ali is claiming to be a Muslim, and the DPP is a Muslim. Why would y'all allowing that nonsense to happen, that y'all be controlled by Mr. Jagdio and all y'all doing this nonsense what y'all doing? Mr. Jagdio don't want unity. Unity represents strength. I excuse Mr. Ali in a way we say he would reach with the opposition leader, even though he was a little arrogant in the way he put off himself. But he had an intention and a desire. That's not the intention and desire of the vice president, Mr. Jagdio. He's living in a cocoon all by himself, and this nation could never go ahead unless they unite. And so I'm saying clearly and loud and clearly, and this thing that you always will speak about in the past, in the spiritual realm. We all are physical being and spiritual being, and the way a man think it, so shall he be. So when the mind is being controlled or being manipulated with the negative, that's how they call it, the negative positive. And that's why you see most of the young people, not all young, but most of them who's not conscious and physically, spiritually, and mentally, or they're praising them to guide them or strengthen them. Even some of them do it and they're falling bad friends and they're falling the internet outside and these things. And so that is the reason for some of these behavior, most of the young people while on the road and with the motorbikes and these kind of things. Because why? They're less mature, they're inexperienced, they don't know the value to freedom, to limbs, to life, and their mind need to be renewed. Unless they get delivered out of these things, we can get enough more of these calamities happening on the road and about the place. And the big ones, them who should help guide them also, is doing the same thing because they're also being manipulated. And that's why I'm saying to the Guyanese nation, in the past, if you can remember on your program, I tell them that this sexual orientation bill is going to come. It's a time bomb waiting to take under this nation. That's where spirituality part comes in. And any time that we Guyanese support the change of any what we call it constitution for men for things on board. God made two kind of people. He made a male and he made a female. That's called gender. What kind of gender can these categories, these people fit into? I have nothing against the LGBT and Q.
I don't have nothing against them. That's their own way of living, but live your way and your style. No constitution got to amend and all this kind of nonsense to make way for violate the word of God. When we begin to violate God, you're going to see what's going to happen to this nation, you know. You're going to see what come down. And that's why I'm telling people we are physical and spiritual beings, but we're not supposed to be wrestling against flesh and blood. We're supposed to be wrestling against principalities and powers, rules of the wickedness, the dark wickedness in this world, spiritual wickedness in high places. That is what we're supposed to be fighting against. So, Mr. Kadaki, you can partake in any conference that you think that you have the ability and you are covered by God to be partaker of. As long as for righteousness, God will protect you. God will guide you. And so all the righteous-minded people in Guyana, and regardless of race or religion, I am speaking to. I'm not speaking to any. I'm speaking to the righteous-minded and hearted people, regardless of what race or what religion you is. Those I'm asking to stand up against this thing what's going on and what is about to take place. So the vice president is sick, and Guyanese stop allowing that man to make decision over us. Look what's going on with ExxonMobil, and look what's going on. How can that be fair? How can that be just? I'm telling you, Mr. Kadaki, you are a blessing. Your program is a blessing. Guyanese, we are going to get there regardless of a twist or a turn it. And Flash, I understand what you are saying. And what you're saying make a lot of sense, my brother. But you got to take control and use wisdom in dealing with situation. That's where life goes. It's about wisdom. I am not saying you don't have wisdom, but apply the wisdom when you're dealing with a situation. If we don't work together hand in hand, we will never defeat the wickedness of the evil regime that's in power. So we got to work hand in hand. And when we achieve that goal, then you are going to moderate things and assess things. So have a blessed day, Mr. Kadaki. Flash, have a blessed day. And the Guyanese nation, have a blessed day. Have a blessed day.
Thank you for your call. I want to tell you all something. Alright, so telling y'all now. I agree that Jack Dio is not the best person or anybody that should be close to government. For the many wrongs he has done against this nation, I agree with that. The one thing I disagree with is that he's mad. Jack Dio is not mad, man. Jack Dio is smart. And for as long as we continue to label Jack Dio mad, we are giving him an easy pass. Because we are not treating with him the way we should treat with him. And that is why he is surviving out to now. Because people just saying, me ain't got tired of mad, man. Jack Dio ain't mad. Jack Dio is smart, quite smart. He might be behaving as if he is mad according to your standards. But that is in order to get past y'all. And then he laugh and he say, hey, them stupid. They think I'm mad? It's smart, it's smart. So y'all pay close attention to Jack Dio's behavior. And do a reassessment. And see if you're really mad. I'm going to try to address some of that just now. Call it live.
Good morning, Kadaki, and good morning to our listeners. Jack Dio is not a madman. Jack Dio is very calculative. He knows good what he's doing. But it's just, it left to we, the people, to examine what he's saying and see that he is not saying the right things. He's not mad. He knows good what he's doing. But the thing we're trying, I hope people could see past and say that, well, here, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work. It is false. Democracy. I think about this word democracy. And then one time I realized that democracy is
it means different things to different people. But now I take a deeper thought about democracy. It's a word that used to control the masses. That is my definition now, for democracy. It's a word that's used to control the masses, not the ones at the top. It makes the ones at the top religious. A matter of fact, democracy is a religion that is used to control the masses, not the ones at the top. It makes the ones at the top religious, become religious, because they start off with this word democracy, but then certain things only apply to certain people, and they're still shouting, oh, democracy and rule of law and all this kind of thing and so on. Remember, this something come from the white people. Instead of the white colonial masters, they used to use the Bible at some time to control black people, to keep in slavery. And in America, there is a Bible that they use where they take out certain parts. We're telling you that you could fight back and retaliate and so on. They just leave the part say that you must be obedient and this and that, to keep you in slavery. We all know that. Well, democracy now is the new Bible. It's the new religion what they're using. Because the same colonial master they're using, they're telling all the other small country, oh, it must be democratic and so on. But America get democracy going on there? Is that happening there all the time? I don't think so. I don't think that's happening there all the time. Because America self, when the United Nations say what they're trying to do, you can't go in and break Iraq and fight these people. They're still doing that. And then start democracy. Look what Russia do to the other country. They care about who right and who wrong. They have their cars, they do what they want. But you, the smaller nation, they're pushing this democracy thing on you so that they could control you. And now the leaders, them in small country, they're taking the same democracy and trying to control the people, but it's not happening in Guyana anymore. We're seeing past that. They want to talk about democracy, but now Orphan talking about some camera, for example. Oh, we're going to put up camera all over the place. And, I sometimes I feel for cost, but, I can't do that on this program. Putting up camera all over to see what's going on and so on. And yet still when things happen in front of State House, the camera then I walk. It's democracy again. Democracy only for the other people, but not for those on top. Anyway, I getting real hungry right now. So have a nice day, my brother. Keep the works on. People say that you're talking too much, but keep talking because a lot of people going to hear and the eyes don't open. Thank you very much. Bye. Yeah.
Thank you. Let me tell you something. I keep saying it. Up to yesterday I mentioned it. Democracy says you must It's me again, Ja. Rastafari. Morning, all your morning.
It's soiree. Remember to tell it's our vibes. Make your way up to Burmese for the season.
Hey, friends and family. The People's Economic Development Society presents a bus ride. A ride from Mocha to Belgium on September 30th. Departure time from Mocha is 6 a.m. Farmers and entrepreneurs will interact. Market day exposition, domino competition, raffle drawing. Be part of it all. Contact us on 678-1269 or 646-4490, 686-9899. Let's take a bus ride from Mocha to Belgium. Tickets cost only $5,000. Be part of the attractions and activities, market day, domino competition, raffle drawing, and lots of fun. It's the People's Economic Development Society bus ride on September 30th, 2023. Come, let's go! Let it blow, blow, blow.
You put in a 12 cents meatball, you was gonna lice. I gonna give you a word of advice. Check your meat out my rice.
You can get meat anywhere, but for the best cuts of chicken, beef, pork, mutton, and lots more, check out T&W Harris Butcher Shop, located in the East Remvelt Market Meat section. Call us on 609-2049. Ask for Rastaman. T&W Harris Butcher Shop brings you the best in fresh cut meats and lots more. Morning, audio. Morning. How are you doing? Let's go to let's go to Belladrum. Hey, there's a trip from Mocha to Belladrum on the 30th. Y'all heard about it, right? Good. Go down there. The People's Economic Development from Mocha is planning a bus ride. It's on the 30th of September. So tickets are $5,000. You heard the numbers and you've seen the flyer. Check on my page. You will see the flyer if you didn't see it. Call up those numbers, make your reservations, and go to Belladrum. It's good when your people can congregate, right? It might appear to you to be a simple excursion, but really and truly, it's a nice skill exchange program, because farmers and entrepreneurs will sit and they will relate with each other, and they will share experiences, and I'm sure there are lots of benefits to be had. Support the thing. Good. It is 25 minutes past the 7 o'clock hour. You're tuned to the Guyanese Morning Time. And I am your host, Kidaki Amsterdam, the Buxtonian. I had a thought just now, but don't worry that one. Yes, the Buxtonian. Sometimes when I talk and in the middle of this, in my talk, I stop and I laugh. I just feel like them Obia man. Right? I've heard of some Obia men who in the middle of the prophecy or whatever they call it, they stop and they laugh. And then they tell you this story and they continue like that. Good, but don't worry yourself with the Obia man. You could do your own Obia. Voodoo is we thing, man. Don't worry them. Don't let it tell us that it's bad, you know. It has its value. Anything could be bad or good. It depends on how you use it. Yeah, you know, water could kill you. Drink too much water and see if you're not going to dead. But water is a good thing too. Nevertheless, let me tell you about some business. You know, we got to pay bills. And so let me tell you about the businesses that are helping us to pay bills. If you're moving, you're looking for transportation to move produce or furniture or anything, hit me up on 6225933. I'll put you in contact with someone who has a box scanter. Right? Box scanter as we call it, an enclosed scanter. God, I think it's 14 feet long. So you can do a lot of moving with that. Don't ask me the height and the width. I didn't inquire about that. Right? But it's a 14-foot canter, so you can call and you can have them move your stuff. The prices, the rates are going to be good, reasonable. Also, those of you who are planning that fete, you don't have to go buying everything from chair cover to sashes. Right? Because EC Party Rentals has chairs, table, tents, chair covers, tablecloth, sashes, napkin holders, napkins, all of that to rent. Right? So if you're looking for something to ease your burden, you want to host that fete, but you don't want to go spending a ton of money to host that fete, it's best to rent. Because some of us, when we buy these things, we don't ever use them again, right? Until another year, 2 years. What do we keep them there sitting to do? Sometimes by the time we're ready for them, the rats start a feast. Good? So if you're planning a fete, and you need tablecloth, you need chair covers, you need sashes, you need napkins, you need napkin holders, you need chairs and tables and tents, hit me up, 6225933. I'll give you the link. Right? Good. So those are two businesses that I'm asking you to support. The transportation service in the box canter, and also if you're looking for rentals of tables and chairs and tents and things for party. Of course, if you need a sound system, as they call it, the land stereos, if you need a sound system, hit us up again, 6225933. I will give you the link how you can get a powerful stereo set, whether you want it with 2 bass, 4 bass, or 40 bass. we could hook you up with that. Good? So hit us up and let's know what your needs are, and we're going to help you to satisfy them. Good. Now it comes to Club Twilight. If you need a hall, you need space to host anything, you can call me, and of course I'll arrange for you to utilize Club Twilight, because Club Twilight is there, more than 2,000 square foot of space. Come on down, make full use. You can have it prepped or you can have it raw. It's all dependent on you. The price is going to be dependent on that. You can have it with music, you can have it without music, you can have it with furnishings, you can have it without. Right? Just hit us up, come and have a look-see, say what your preferences are, and we're going to work out something. Good? Right, so support those businesses that help to pay the bills, because you have to pay the bills to stay on air. Good. It's Monday. It's the 11th day of September in the year 2023. There are lots of things I want to talk about. A lot of it have been drawn to over the weekend. Here's the first one I want us to address. Maybe we'll address a number of them together. This is AGP Nightly News telling us that the fat guy says that he is reevaluating the projected revenues and the performance of the economy with the intent of adjusting daily minimum wages and increasing the tax threshold. Right? He had some press conference at State House, and that is what he said. I would want us to talk about that. I really and truly would want to hear your thoughts on that. Is it really necessary to be reevaluating or evaluating? Ali-led administration is re-evaluating Guyana's projected revenues in the economy, intending to adjust the daily minimum wage further while increasing the income tax threshold. Ali revealed this during a press conference at State House on Saturday. Quote, "This is something I'm presently reviewing with an aim at a further adjustment in the daily minimum wage." The head of state added that they are reviewing observative capacity at further advancing liquidity in your pocket by an adjustment in the tax threshold. That sounds like a bundle of crap. I don't even understand what they said. They are reviewing observative capacity at further advancing liquidity in your pocket by an adjustment in the tax threshold. This is another issue I would say is on the front burner of consideration. Y'all could explain it to me. Any linguists in here? Because I certainly I thought I had a handle on the English language, but hey, I'll admit to you I'm done styling because I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. What is Ali trying to say there? Y'all explain it for me. Right? The Guyanese leader told media operatives that his government is analyzing the numbers to ensure that whatever we come up with is in keeping with the sustainability of the economy. Last year in July, the minimum wage for private sector employees increased from 44,200 to 60,147 monthly. The private sector employees last saw an increase in 2017. Right? The income tax threshold stands at $75,000. During the presentation of Budget 2023, Senior Minister in the Office of the President with responsibility for finance, Ashneet Singh, proposed that this figure be increased to $85,000 monthly. He said this adjustment will see over 12,000 persons being removed from paying income taxes, and every single taxpayer will benefit. We are an oil producing country now, right? And your minimum wage in the private sector is $60,000, $300 US per month. That is what private sector employees are working for as a minimum in this country. And the income tax threshold is currently $75,000. Proposed to be $85,000. Your income tax threshold is less than 500 US dollars. Less than 500 US dollars. So if you were to earn 500 US dollars a month, I'm using 5 US dollars because I think more people get the picture. Where around the world do you work for 500 US dollars a month? Except in Guyana, perhaps. Do you know any place else? Do you? And you have a set of incompetents, a set of nincompoops. From Bart Jagdio all the way up or all the way down to your finale and the rest of them telling you that in another 2 years, pensioners can look for $35 more on their pension. US. Where in the world? Where in the world? People are made to work for such low incomes. And it is rubbed in their faces. And they accept it. Where in the world? You're working for less than 500 US dollars a month. And your income tax threshold is less than 500 US dollars a month. Even when they're proposing to increase it, it is still going to be less than 500 US dollars a month. But they think they're doing such a wonderful job. I was looking for an interview, a snippet of an interview somebody sent me over the weekend with Jagdio. With Jagdio telling his fellow inmate, the Guyanese critic, that maybe Guyanese want another dose. He should allow Guyanese to get another dose of APNU. Y'all saw that? Huh? Maybe Guyanese should get another dose of the APNU. He should just give them another dose of the APNU. Well, let me tell you something. And this is like a double-edged sword. I know. I'm going to say it. And then I will defend it. I want another dose of the APNU. Every Guyanese should love to have another dose of the APNU. Because that 3-year dose of the APNU that Guyanese were exposed to, I think would have done well for all of us. It is a pity it didn't last for 5 years. So the treatment was cut short. And I'm thinking that we really deserve to have another go at that treatment. Because as far as I know, that treatment was working for Guyanese. It wasn't swift. It wasn't black magic. In many instances, it wasn't well thought out. But there are instances where it was well thought out and it was certainly working. And so we should really get another dose of the APNU and stop Jagdio with his low talk. Or let Jagdio stop believing that he's low talking Guyanese when he say maybe they need another dose of the APNU. Indeed, another dose of the APNU will do a lot for Guyanese. And I said it is two-edged. It's a double-edged sword. Because the likes of those who represent the PPP going to jump up and say, yes, Kiraki, you would like to have another dose of the APNU because you're part of them. The APNU did nothing different to me than what it did for the, nothing for me than what it did for the society at large. And so anything I benefited from through to the APNU being in office, every citizen had the opportunity to benefit from. I put my head on a block for that. And so I'm saying, bring it on. Let us have another dose of the APNU. But of course, it's talks. It's talks. He can't stand the thought. If not, why not give us a credible voters list? Why not give us a clean voters list? Why not give us biometrics? Why not allow the petition to be heard? If you want to talk about good governance, and you think you're so superior to the APNU, those are some of the things you should do to prove yourself. Prove to the nation, prove to the world that you have nothing to fear. Let the petition be heard. Whatever the results, so be it. Clean the voters list. Valid votes only. Protect that by biometrics. Reduce the possibility of fraudulent votes. Protected by biometrics. And so some may say level the playing field. And let us see if with a level playing field, a free, fair, and credible election, you can stop APNU from getting into the seat of power again. Or better yet, let us see if you can prevent another dose of APNU for the Guyanese people. Cause listen, once bitten, twice shy. At least I used to hear that and I used to believe it. And I got another thing, the Guyanese thing that they say, one time something, not done something. I think the Guyanese have already experienced not one time of the PPP sodomizing them. But more than once. You know, when I think about the PPP and the Guyanese people, I think of a man who ill-treats his wife, or ill-treated his wife, left her, went away. She found herself in the arms of another man who was taking good care of her and showing good intentions. But he could swear, see come and he swear way back in and she accepts your husband. Only for him to go back to doing her worse than he was doing before. And so she is praying for the day when the suitor will return, or another suitor will return, and say, girl, come out, step out, walk out, don't look back. I think Guyanese are waiting for the day when we are going to get free, fair, and credible elections in this country to say goodbye to the PPP. And so I'm asking Jagdeo and Claudette Singh and all of y'all at GCOM and PPP and in government and so on for another dose of APNU. Bring it on. I'm sure the people will be better taken care of. In 3 years, the APNU was able to do a lot. Not as much as it could have done, but it did a lot. Let's take, for example, youth empowerment. There are some things that they did. Remember the other day I was talking about, when Lorimer was talking about his chicken business that, or his children's chicken business that was as efficient as it was because they bought 200 birds and not one of them died. And they were able to produce birds at an average of 5.5 pounds each, at an average. And so for my knowledge of poultry rearing and so on, I was saying in my mind, all of the birds could weigh 5.5 pounds. Some would sometimes go to 4 pounds, some will go to 3 pounds. So I think Lorimer had birds in some instances that weighed as much as 7 and 8 pounds. Good. That was just my off the top of the head analysis of Lorimer's figures. But I'm saying that instead of Lorimer having to utilize the cash grant for children to return to school, so it wasn't one or the other. Both of them were happening at the same time. There was a $50 million youth innovation project. Right? Youths were also benefiting from microfinancing for startup projects, along with the several youth skills training projects that were taking place. I can tell you off the top of my head, there was the CSSP, Citizen Security Strengthening Program, through which hundreds of youths across this country, regardless of ethnicity or ethnic community, regardless of demographics, hundreds of Guyanese youths were trained in varying skills: welding, ICT, catering, masonry, carpentry, and other such skills. So while boats, books, and bicycles and so on were being given out by the David Granger government, provision was also made for those school leavers who are unskilled and unemployed in most instances to be skilled for employment, and in many instances self-employment. And once they were finished with that training, part of the training was entrepreneurship and business management. And once they were finished with that, they could have turned to the small business bureau, or as a this country might find remnants, and I hope there are lots of remnants. When I say remnants, let me just say, I hope you will find lots of businesses owned by young people that were started under this program. Right? So give the young people another dose of APNU, and so that they can turn their lives around. Don't send them to clean gutter. That's all they're good for. When there are no gutters to be cleaned, what happens? What happens when there are no gutters to be cleaned? The information I got over the weekend is that while they are sending people from a particular geographic area or certain demographics, they're giving them small contracts to clean gutters and so on. In Borbis, I understand Jumbo Jet is the man with the bag. The government is using him to facilitate the creation of contractors in Indian-dominated communities. So the young Indian men are supported to go to, they are supported to become contractors. They're taking through the steps of getting their certificate, their compliances and so on and so forth, registration and so on and so forth. And then through a middleman, money is provided to provide to them to tender for projects. And through Jumbo Jet, there's an understanding that the machinery to do these roads especially will be provided, and they will work and pay for them. Right? But young black men are sent to clean gutters. They're given small contracts to clean gutters. You're not getting upfront money to clean gutter. So you're going to clean gutter. And when you finish cleaning gutter, you're going to get a run around for collecting money and so on. So give us, I am begging, give the Guyanese people another dose of APNU so that the youths can get meaningful skill training. They can get meaningful guidance for business management and entrepreneurship, and then they can get access to money. Because even the young people in the sugar belt and bauxite belts were exposed to oil and gas training. The APNU was facilitating that. You know what else they were doing? Free night classes to CXC students. Because they believe in education and empowerment of young people. Guess what? We're just out of the CXC season. The results are now in for a lot of students who wrote CXC, or the students who wrote CXC. A lot of them would have found that they did not matriculate. They might have passes at 7 subjects, but they did not matriculate, because matriculation, you have to pass maths and English. And so many of them might have gotten 7 subjects, but they failed math or they failed English. So we have children out there, we have young men and women out there with 5 and 6 subjects. But they can't easily move on to the next stage. University of Guyana requires you to pass maths and English. But in the 3 years of the coalition in government, they provided another route for young people. Even if you fail all the CXC subjects and you believe that you wanted another shot at it, you can go to free evening CXC classes. Even if things are bad and you say you got to catch your hand during the day, you got to work, you could go to free evening CXC classes. Ask the Cabal, ask the PPP what they did with that program. Ask the PPP what they did with that program. They scrapped it. They defunded it. This is interesting fun games. They defunded it. And so now, for example, I know a young man who wrote CXC. If you look at his results, you see what some might call prospect. You recognize, look, there is ability there, but maybe at the time the youngster wasn't as focused as he ought to be. What are the options to that young man now? Who recognizes, hey, if I button down, if I focused a little harder, if I tried a little harder, if I gotten the right guidance, I would have done better than I've done. And I want a second shot. But my father, my mother, my parents, my grandparents can't afford to send me back to school because they have another generation like me to take care of. I miss my turn. I miss my turn. There are no free night schools anymore. So give the young people another dose of APNU. They need it. They certainly need it. Annette is asking if what qualifications, what academic qualifications these contractors need. None. Some of them are cane harvesters or work cane harvesters. Do you know in this country you don't have to have any academic qualification to be a contractor? You only have to have employees that know to do the job. Part of your tender document to be submitted is a list of your employees. So if you can get a black man who has a degree in engineering to agree for you to submit his name as your engineer, that's fine by the government. You could be an Indian contractor. And if your entire workforce is African Guyanese, the government still doesn't mind, you know. So long as the African Guyanese are not the contractors. The Indian contractor doesn't have to know A to Z. Likewise, if you're an African, and they get a low level pay for the high level jobs that they have to do. And they're constantly reminded to, in many instances, two things make for tech son, black man and zinc sheet. That is what the PPP is happy with. Nathan, first, I don't have time for you and your arrogance, ignorant stupidity this morning. We want it to work. I personally want biometrics to work. Because I don't know about the others, but I'm saying this and I'm saying it loud and clear. I am convinced let them reveal the census data and tell you what the population build-up is. This is not the 60s and the 70s. And even the 80s. When Indo-Guyanese were perhaps more than Afro-Guyanese. By a large number. That number's dwindled. It is either they are about equal. It is either they are about equal. Because of the number of people who have left this country, especially Indo-Guyanese. Or the margin of difference is so little that it really can't affect the outcome of an election. And I'm willing to bet on that. So bring on the biometrics, bring on the clean voters list, and let us see what happens. I mean, Nathan Fraser might be making the argument he's making now because he's of the opinion that the PPP shopping for votes from Brazil and Venezuela and India and Pakistan and so on is going to make a difference. The provision of a clean voters list calls for verification. And once you're prepared to provide a clean voters list, verification will remove a lot of masqueraders, imposters from the list. And some of the firm belief that a clean voters list and biometrics will work for Guyanese. It will work to remove the PPP from office. And so I have no doubt that that is why they're afraid of it. So don't come bluffing us, Nathan. But I'm talking about another dose of the PPP of the APNU. Right? During the 3 years of the APNU, over $100 million revolving fund to help entrepreneurs was created. More than 2,700 loans were granted at that time. More than 2,000, almost 3,000 loans and grants were given in that 3 year of the APNU was in office. The APNU was in office. Do you remember when it was that you could get a barrel and pay a flat fee? I think it was $4,000. And you gotta go through all the hassle and the waste time and the tumbling out of your barrel and so on. The APNU was in office. 3 years. Take us back to those days, man. Give us APNU back. Let's talk about when minimum wage was increased by 50% or more than 50%. Remember that was when? Guyanese like punishment. Take us back to the time when we were punishing on the APNU. Take us back to that time. When the minimum wage in this country in less than 3 years was increased to more than 50%. Because in less than 3 years, salaries was moved from about $30-something thousand to in excess of $70,000. Right? People saw their salaries practically double under the coalition. Income tax thresholds adjusted so that they can keep the increases that they were given. Compare that to more than 3 years of the PPP in office right now. What has public servants received? What has public servants received in terms of increases? Minimal, if anything at all. So give us another dose of APNU so that people can get another 50%, because by now they would have gotten another 50% increase. Minimum. Accumulative at least. And so public servants would have been better off, private sector workers would have been better off, because usually once you keep adjusting public service pay, the private sector is forced to make adjustments too. Otherwise, they will lose their workers to the public service. And come to think of it, is it that since the majority of the PPP support comes from the private sector, is that the reason why they're keeping public sector wages and salaries low? So that the private sector can get the workers to stay or to go to gravitate towards them? Just thinking. Because all the people that they knocked off from public service jobs and even the police and army and so on and so forth have now turned to the private sector for employment and security guards. So I wonder if that's the strategy of the PPP, to get people out of the public service and force them into the private sector. I want another dose of the coalition, because then workers would get more than 50% increase in 3 years or less. In 3 years or less, the old age pension was increased by 56%. I remember when it used to be what? 7.5 or something like that. I've seen many vouchers for 7.5 when my mother was a pensioner. I hope that figure was right. But by the time the APNU was ready to leave office, in under 3 years, that money had gone to $20,500 monthly. Y'all remember that? Remind Jack, you and telling me you want another dose of the APNU. Right? Another dose of the APNU mean Christmas bonuses to every single public servant. Every sector of the public service. Not just the army and the police. And so everybody in the household, whether army or police or teacher or nurse, will come home at Christmas time happy because they all got a bonus. What is happening under the PPP? The only people who get a bonus in this country are the soldiers and police, because they're expected to do the dirty work of the cabal. Give us another dose of the coalition, because we want to know everybody will get a bonus. Right? Even in the private sector, minimum wage was increased to $225 an hour. How about that? We want another dose. Because people are not seeing salary increases in this country. As a matter of fact, according to this jackass, some people carry President Ali. I don't know what's presidential about him. They are now reevaluating to see if the country can sustain an adjustment in wages and salaries, the daily minimum wage. It didn't take the coalition 3 years to decide or recognize and say, well, listen, we can do this. These clowns are there. And they claim that they love the people and they care. But now they're talking about reevaluating. When the country is producing oil, much more oil, and generating more income than the coalition government has ever seen, because the coalition was doing all of this without oil money. So this reevaluating is another delaying tactic. It's another delaying tactic, so that it's comforting words for people in the public service, so that they can say, let us hold strain a little longer. They're thinking about it. Huh? I'm asking. And wouldn't we want another dose of the APNU because it ain't gonna take 3 years for them to decide that? Huh? We want another dose, but the question is, what are we prepared to do to get another dose? What are we prepared to do to get another dose of the APNU? Because it's obvious, we can't rely on the APNU alone to get us through the door, or to get them through the door. We gotta help them. Every citizen has to become a political activist. Every citizen has to start mobilizing against the PPP. Every citizen has to start mobilizing their families to be singular units when it comes to getting the PPP out of office. And so I'm encouraging you to start doing that. Sit around the table. Use information like these. There are publications with this kind of information. I think this one is called Progress in Guyana, yes. I'm not sure where you can find it now. It might be good for the APNU to reprint some of these. Because obviously, if you go to the Department of Public Information, they will tell you they don't have them. But those of us who have copies in our hands, people can contact me, for example. I'll get them reproduced to you. Might ask you to pay a minimal cost because ink expensive. But I'm sure I can get a copy to you. I had an idea. I might very well have it scanned. And so you can get soft copies via WhatsApp and so on. Because it's on paper. And I dare Jack D one that likes to challenge the information in it. So I want another dose. Bring it on. We want another dose. You remember there were 9,000 laptop computers distributed to teachers? The other day I was talking about modernizing the classroom. And I said to you, under the Granger government, they were starting to give teachers laptops. And so it would have been easy for teachers to do access, teaching aids, etc. virtually. And this wasn't COVID time when they were doing that. It was pre-COVID. Up until the time of this publication, they said 9,000 were giving out laptop computers to teachers. While I expect some of you to come here and say, some of the PPP representatives to come and say, but the computers had problems, let me remind you that the PPP had sourced the computers from the friends and cronies for the one laptop per family program. And the LPNU government recognized that there would have been more benefit, because that's what the PPP do. They always take the state's money and buy junk for large kickbacks, like they did with the recent boat that came from India. Right? Like they did with the recent boat from India. So here, I am sure teachers want, no, this is a more modern time. More than anything, teachers need laptops. Who will guarantee them it? The coalition, so give them another dose. Give them another dose, I beg. They call it the Campus Area Network. You are getting free internet access on campus, on the University of Guyana campus. Never before was it done. At least not with that quality if it was ever done before. Right? So there are lots of things that were done, or lots of things that marked 3 years of the coalition. Compare it to all the years of the PPP, 20 plus years plus 3 years plus. And tell me if you will not like to have another dose of the APNU in office. The lines are open. 6225933 is the number to call. Tell me and justify answers. Would you like to have another dose of the coalition in office? I'm listening.
It's soiree. Remember,
let's pay bills.
Make your way up to Burmese for the season.
Hey, friends and family. The People's Economic Development Society presents a bus ride. A ride from Mocha to Belgium on September 30th. Departure time from Mocha is 6 a.m. Farmers and entrepreneurs will interact. Market day exposition, domino competition, raffle drawing. Be part of it all. Contact us on 678-1269 or 646-4490, 686-9899. Let's take a bus ride from Mocha to Belgium. Tickets cost only $5,000. Be part of the attractions and activities. Market Day, domino competition, raffle drawing, and lots of fun. It's the People's Economic Development Society bus ride on September 30th, 2023. Come, let's go! Let's go for another dose. We like the punishment we got on the APNU.
You put in a 12 cents meatball, you was on a lice. I going to give you a word of advice. Check your meat out my eyes.
You can get meat anywhere, but for the best cuts of chicken, beef, pork, mutton, and lots more, check out T&W Harris Butcher Shop, located in the East Remvelt Market Meat section. Call us on 609-2049. Ask for Rastaman. T&W Harris Butcher Shop brings you the best in fresh cut meats and lots more. Yes, you're tuned to the Guyanese Morning Time. It is now 9:11. Yeah, it's the 11th of September in the year 2023, 70 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour. You're tuned into the Guyanese Morning Time. Let's talk. The lines are open. We want another dose of the APNU. Is another dose of the APNU good for you? Compared to what you're getting right now? Let's talk about that. Remember, Creole Fridays continue. This week we decided we're going to give you some good old 1-foot chicken. Who knows what's 1-foot chicken? And by the way, thank you to those people who supported Creole Friday last Friday. The Metem was a blast. I got a particular voice note I would like to share with you guys, but I'm not sure that the sender would like me to play that voice note. But in short, the Metem was well received. People enjoyed it. And so those of you who didn't order Metem last Friday, you lost out because it was a good Metem. This week we're going to give you a good 1-foot chicken. We're going to get 1-foot chicken like you're not accustomed to it. 1-foot chicken and fried fish. How about that? So pre-order. Again, the deal is spend $3,000 and more and we can arrange for delivery to Georgetown for $1,000. Right? $3,000 and more and we can deliver to you in Georgetown for $1,000. $3,000 and more in Buxton and you get free delivery. The lines are open. Like you're frightened to talk this story. So call me, hit me up on 6225933. WhatsApp, send me your orders and direction and so on, and we're going to arrange to get our payment. Don't worry. 1-foot chicken this Friday with fried fish. You know, some people cook some boring food. We don't cook boring food. Especially in Creole Fridays. We ain't cooking no boring food. I guarantee you, you will certainly enjoy that Edo Leaf Friday coming. Fried fish. And because you're nice people, we're going to throw in a cup of dal with it. Guyanese like the food wet, you know. It's something I noticed. Guyanese love a dal. Regardless of what I eat, you get them. I see that trying with me. Every minute is reconnecting, but don't worry. GT&T also had a lot of problems over the last couple of weeks. But it's Guyana. What do you expect? The utilities are nothing better than the government. The utilities are reflective of the government you get. Remember, if you have anything to move, we have a box canter that is available for providing transportation services. So if you're moving anything, you can hit us up. We will link you up with transportation. If you're planning an event, we have chairs and table and tents to rent. We also have chair covers, tablecloth, table napkins, napkin holders. The works. Let's just call it the works to rent. You can actually plan your event knowing that you can get most or all of the things that EC Party Rental. They also have decorative lights. You know, a lot of us like lights. Lights make our environment, make our mood, and so on. When we have these events, people always want something different in terms of lighting and so on. You can hit us up, and what do you call that? FedExing anything to the US, right? You know what I'll have to do? I'll have to arrange for us to have an office or a kitchen somewhere in the US, where when we are promoting these Guyanese dishes that we have, we'll have somebody who we know of their capability prepare and deliver it in the US. Because like right now we're losing out from a 5 order. Somebody wants a 5 orders delivered on Friday for them in where's this MDV? Silver Spring, right? Somewhere in the US there. Right? But sorry, come home and you will get what you're looking for. Come home, I'm sure you're gonna get what you're looking for. Everybody wants to know, or a lot of people are asking, where's 1 foot fowl or 1 foot chicken? They say it's a delicacy in Linden, but it's a head leaf. Everybody likes an head leaf. And you know what? The thing is nutritious. Extremely nutritious. You get blood deficiency problems? Eat 1 foot fowl. Quick time you will find you, as we say, you build back your blood. Right? So we are encouraging you. It's Creole. It's Creole Fridays. And so this week we're doing 1 foot fowl and fried fish. You can't go wrong. Place your orders. Good. So I'm saying that at EC Party Rental you can get all kinds of stuff for your occasions. You can also get a sound system if you would like. And DJ. Right? You can get decorative lights. Another dose of the APNU. Remember to go down to T&W Harris Butcher Shop in East Randville Market and support the brother. There's also a grocery next door to him there. Support the brother, you know, because that brother helps to pay the bills.
You put in a 12 cents meatball, you washed on a lice. I gonna give you a word of advice. Check your meat out my rice.
You can get meat anywhere, but for the best cuts of chicken, beef, pork, mutton, and lots more, check out T&W Harris Butcher Shop, located in the East Randville Market Meat section. Call us on 609-2049. Ask for Rastaman. T&W Harris.
I would be the first to build the cut. I would like for second dose at the APNU in office, because when the APNU went in power, you never had all these killing, murder, and these things that going on under this regime, and punishing, even though high level used to pump them. So I would lad for second dose. I would have ballad which is talking about. I wonder if he just look himself in the mirror or replay the press conferences that he does be on. He don't have a heart. He's like a empty nutshell. So you find that the empty barrel, as people they all say make the most noise. That is Jack Dio and the cabal. I willing and waiting for second go wrong at the APNU, because under the APNU, we had peace. We used to live with love and unity. You never got them bull nonsense of Guyana now. And people coming in, we country and digging out this and digging out that. You get them bulldoze off your land. House breaking down, not even the babe and suckling, them ain't got feeling for. What are these people really talking about, yeah? With the followers, what are they talking about? But I got a message for Barra Jack Dio and the thieving cabal. Anytime the black people wasn't the foundation like Clifford Hicks and them from Hooptown, like he's supposed to he's supposed to add in sleepless night. They wanna behave with that shit what they behaving with. But every rope get an end. This go wrong ain't gonna be nice. They gonna rat me in jail and the PPP gonna broke up because there's not a government of peace and tranquility. They don't like to see Guyanese the race card in Guyana. We never had the undergranger. Things used to be balanced without pumping oil. So let Jack do get the book straight. But time gonna tell. Because the longest rope get ahead, like I said before. Let the black stop promoting them with the wrongdoings. And see how the country gonna run. You keep on your good works, Mr. Kadaki. It's sickening. And have a blessed day.
Thank you for your call. We have some voice notes. Let's see what we'll play. The lines remain open. It's now 29 minutes past the 8 o'clock hour. You tune to the Guyanese Morning Time. Another dose, I'm begging you. Give me another dose. Another dose is going to be good for this country. So bring it on. Call it live. Good morning.
Good morning, Brother Kadaki, and good morning to the rest of Guyana. It's a bright and sunny day in Georgetown, the capital. It promises to be more hotter as the day goes by. Anyhow, on point. Let me tell the nation this, and the world, that Jamio is one of the most weakest link in the community. He tries on the fear of people. And the only thing that gives him strength is those people who he can get and pay him to go and do his dirty works. If you really carry the pressure to Jagdio, he would be the first man to jump on the plane and get me. I don't know if you can remember when it was supposed that Janet was president, he was about to board a plane. He actually boarded a plane with a big bag of money and he hustling out the country. And Janet had to stop him and the plane had to bring him. This life is got only live it once, and you gotta make your mark now. You can't want live in prosperity and have a good life and not willing to make sacrifices. Even the world over. The great United States, they had the Boston Tea Party and other sacrifices that nation made. That seen it being on the top of the world today. So that I'm sort of calling this program and talking to people, to get in action. It's like people just keep complaining. Ain't nobody doing nothing. Tomorrow is supposed to be action is equal. Like an hour and a half. and demand a clean voters list, house registration and biometrics. Don't call it program. You guys are wasting time. You guys are wasting time. Don't call and talk nonsense. I mean, people might be annoyed with me, but you know, I'm a kind of person that speak true to facts. I don't mix nonsense. Yeah, you know, generations to come and suffer, and you keep borrowing money and from the international community to do this and that. Are you going to the United States on the 14th to face the Congressional Black Caucus to answer to atrocities in Guyana? Come out, take to the streets and protest and let people see what's going on. Demand that he answer for all the 1,500 black men that Jaggy murdered. Come out and answer for Kevin Andrew. Come out and let him answer for the Aaron Boston, Ronald Water. He must answer to the Black Caucus for all of this. Let him answer to the Congressional Black Caucus why he's not allowing a free and fair election in Guyana. You know, just don't call the program, hit the streets. Let's take it up. Thank you a lot.
Thank you, Carlo. You tune to the Guyanese morning time.
Mr. Amsterdam, good morning.
Call it live. Call it live.
Yes, good morning. Happy morning to all of you guys over there. Can you hear me?
Yes.
This is Flash Garden. Thank you to buzz me in. I must say buzz me in. Let me start by saying that Jagdo is stupid. If Jagdo is stupid, he would have never take a next black brother for be them edge. What the devil use that word, the edge towards God. He take that boy now to be his edge. He's stupid. But I want based on that. What I want to talk about, yes, you are qualified to receive an invitation from Mr. Rick Forberg to be there at that conference. Because three things are good of. Talk and walk the walk, and you know how to line up, you duck. And he needs you to be there, Mr. Sam Hines, Mr. David Hines, and the opposition leader. Why I'm saying this, I always believe you have to be in a building when rain fall for know that building leaking. Flash Garden, he know everything. And Flash Garden don't want no one to tell me what I learn politics and politics. I heard him say that it's people who in the diaspora going to be there in group and talk. It's people in Guyana who feeling pain and going through and get all this bad treatment have to be there and sit in front of Congress. And you should be one. Because you know how to line up your dog. And if he listening on the pod this morning, and if he don't have video for show, what's going on is not only go and sit down and drink water. Time for that is over with. If you keep it a meeting with show them life and direct what the Indian people is doing to black people through racialness. I see a video and I was mad about it. This young MP for PNC praising Sarah Lynch. What's he saying now when she's going through the door? My God, my God. How can you tell that you welcome what she said? Why she say it now? When black people dead and punishing, Sarah Lynch come out and say plain to Flash Garden because like people over me Guyana doesn't listen news and watch news and press conference. Sarah Lynch said she bring out 4 or 5 Venezuela women and said black people, children and black people must respect them. And this young man, this black brother, saying loud and clear, he prays what she said, nonsense. Why makes she not come out all the time to see what's going on? Sarah Lynch went. Me love to repeat myself because some of our black brothers and sisters still sleeping. You know, I fought in program for years. I used to leave Guyana, go home and vote. How many Guyanese do what I did, Flash Garden, in the old 90s and the 2000s? Refuse citizenship and come home and vote because I know. I used to protest myself in border market and big market. If anybody listening, I go, so wait, that is a big man. Yes, protest, I alone. Come home and vote. How much of them who live in Guyana do that? And who live abroad do that? It's time for we fight back. Jesus gave us that power. Jesus tell us plain, put up the sword. You live by the sword, you go praise by the sword. I ain't talking nothing top of my brains. And it's time for we to live by the sword towards the inner people. Because they're living by the sword to us and our children. Flash Garden said something last year. When that boy sit 27 and pass all that Indian boy, I question that, I talk about it. And I live for see. Either Friday we see a video come out from Trinidad, a young Trinidadian saying the same thing too. Saying the same thing too. It is time for we fight down each other and talk about Ramtatan and AFC party always until I die. We cannot take a chance with them anymore. Look, all them little party 2020. Did anyone die with PNC or double PA and go and fight for new voter lists? No. Come on, my black brother and sister. We don't need hands like that. We need clean hands. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for your call.
Let me just say this. These people calling themselves government, they are prepared to do one thing. Black people must be at the bottom of the ladder as long as they're in there, monkeying around themselves with our oil money. They don't mean for us to get anything as a black people in this country. They mean that we must not get anything. You look, they are barefaced, presumptuous, and everything that goes with that. You understand? They have the nerve to come out and say how much growth the country is having, but people are suffering, and their friends and their cronies are enjoying the money as if this place belonged to Barra Jagdio father and Irfan Ali father. You understand? And they have the transport for Guyana. They are doing these things presumptuously, and something has to stop them. They must be stopped, and it will happen when they least expect it. Who are these people? These people are very heartless, running around and jumping around and spending the country's money as if it's the father, mother own, and telling people to the face that they're not doing this and they're not doing that. Who are they? Where they come from? Unless black people wake up and get these people out, they will never ever see the light. It aches you every minute of the day to see what they're doing with our money, as if it belongs to them. And they're liars more than anything else. They're a pack of liars. Just look at them. You just take a good look at them. They don't even have no statesman look or nothing. They're just doing things really like grassroots people. I know something will stop them because God will never allow them to keep doing what they're doing all the time. Thank you.
Thank you for your voice note. The lines remain open. 6225933 is the number to call. We have more voice notes.
You enjoyed it? I take for today.
Thank you for your voice note.
Continue to say that Barajagdio is a narcissist. What he's doing is using propaganda and gaslighting to agitate the population. Those are tools of a narcissist, propaganda and gaslighting. Hey, good morning, Kadaki. I have said this over my continue to say that Barajagdio is a narcissist. What he's doing is using propaganda.
Kadaki, good morning to you and your listeners. Listen, I watched a video over the weekend where the Nancy show with Mr. Green Joe. I tell you, there's a strong message, and that is solid information. And that's why I've been saying all the time. The enablers for the people, John Budget and all these guys, those are the people who are enabling them to do what they're doing. And yet, them young people going straight and they're going to rising sun, harsh racing and bubbling and spending the money and spending the thousands of dollars up there. But when it's time for come and support y'all, they ain't interested. Another thing which shocked me over the weekend, the video with oh my gosh, Norman Brown and Aubrey Norton. It's terrible. They don't look good at all. And then other people now coming out and using them same statements of his actions and stuff. Then, right? You know what I mean? This one. Another good thing I know you're doing is that you're keeping the excursion and you're trying to mobilize things and stuff. But it's good. But Nancy show yesterday with Granger and Mark Benchop, that was Trump. That was pronto. And you understand? That was pronto. It hit the hammer on the nail. You listen to the program, and it's a strong, strong message. You know.
Thank you for your voice note. Let me make a disclaimer. I'm not hosting an excursion. I'm advertising an excursion for the folks at the People's, what they call it? Let me get it right. People's Economic Development Society. Good? It's what we loosely call the Mocha Farmers Group. I am not hosting an excursion. The People's Economic Development Society presents a bus ride. September 30th, departing Mocha at 6 a.m. to Belladrum. There will be farmers and entrepreneurs interactions. Tickets cost $5,000. And attractions and activities include a market day, exposition, domino competition, raffle. You can contact 678-1269, 646-4490, or 686-9899 for further information. Good? That's the information there. It's now on screen. Mr. Amsterdam, I'm in hosting excursion. Keep that in mind. Okay? Good. I want some service. Who can assist me? I want somebody apply for US visa for me. Oh, y'all doing that? I don't know how to do these things. I've never done these things. How you just apply for US visa? Everybody is saying, Mr. Amsterdam, we wish you to go to this conference. But don't you first have to get a visa? Y'all help me now. Y'all tell me how to do this thing. Call here live, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Kadaki. My point, I heard you talking about like assisting children who didn't like pass the exam, like give them a second chance. Kadaki, some of these children don't take their education the way they should take it. Now imagine, you are a parent. You send that child to nursery school, then to primary, secondary. Lots of them, when they meet at the secondary school, the biggest smartphone, they wouldn't go on a site that will teach them maths or them type of thing that can assist them in the education. They enjoying the phone doing a lot of nonsense. When exam time come now and they ain't pass certain thing, then you a parent who have sacrificed all these years in looking into your children's educational needs. Is it right for you now to start giving you a second chance to do what you should do on your first chance? Second chances at exams, to me, it's harder than the first because you got a lot of things to meet with. And if I had a child that I know I put in the works for that child to be successful at exam and they make it Kadaki, the answer would have been, I know, go and get a job and do what you want. You know, I had me children. And I used to tell them when they're going to school, me going and check your bag for see if you're carrying extra clothes, extra this, see if you're going to school. But when you see the exam time meet, that is what I'm looking for. And if my children are decided to get pregnant along the way in school, no problem. I'd get a job and let it go and work to the qualifications that they had. But they never make the mistake. And parents have got to make up your mind. You give your children the what you know they need to guide them and put them on the right road. And if those children take all you do and do nonsense with it, when they finish writing the exam, whatsoever they get, let it go out and earn with it. Now, you know me and you and the teachers, you said that they need assistance. You ever go in school and watch a couple of them? They got longer hair than Rapunzel. You wonder if they're a wild animal with long fingernails. You want to know if you're watching at a rainbow, overdone rainbow with about 1,000 colors on the face. The clothes tight, everything. And if you can afford to be doing that, oh, I'm sorry for you. I was a nurse working with the government who had to provide uniform for me. And Kadaki, let me tell you, once me uniform, the clean, I didn't care if the government didn't give me uniform. I didn't care with threadbare, and that was white. And I got to work with it. Me had a matron, didn't like me at all. And when you see any dignitary coming at the hospital, she used to go and change my duties if she know we didn't get uniform and shoes. Why? Because I used to wear the oldest shoe I got. And the most, the oldest uniform, it clean. And I used to appear and let everybody see the state how they had the nurses. And when you do that, you used to get what you want. Now, coming back to Flash, I am 100% with Flash, not allowing AFC to be the collated party. It should be APNU, WPA. AFC could go into the palms, the small parties forming the APNU. Because should AFC go back there, they ain't doing no work. Many people are annoyed with the way how they behaved in the past. And once you see something in the daytime, not that firewood for look fit. They don't show you the mindset. We will be with you when the going is good. And as soon as the going get rough, we jumping up the ship and leave you to fend for yourself. And many right-thinking Africans will be annoyed and appalled should UPNU join back with AFC. In this time here, what is the leader of AFC doing towards coming together and backing up APNU? The only time you hear camera drum to understand is when they're talking about IRIG. The time they 100% with AFC and all the other matters and the ills that is affecting Africans in Guyana. Ramjatan is mute, null and void. Now Kadaki last. Since the local government election, all the pipes in the African areas have been down to zero. We are not getting water. Now the people claim that they got some problem on the pump break. Well, the pumping then themselves can't pump water to the black people in them themselves. But all the colleagues them in Hague, Blankenberg, all around, were getting water from the pump at Fellowship then themselves. Fellowship is sister to them themselves. You're splitting in Fellowship. All of them getting 100% water. And we with their right, we can't get water. Because you know why? We voted UPNU. And that is what is going on in this country. And according to Dennis, it's time that we put all the atrocities what is happening to the Africans in this country when in front decide to go to that conference or whatever. But this now with this no water is applied to enrich them because all them people getting the same water from the same pipe, put it in 5-gallon bottle and walk around the black people area mainly and selling them water. The same water what they get from the pipe because they are getting it. So that is another ploy to try to keep us. We must remember they came from the Ganges, and everybody who know about the history of the Ganges know how they got up the water system very polluted. Can I know, knowing the history of the Ganges, sit down and drink water from these people, not this black woman? Bye-bye.
Thank you for your call. The lines remain open. 6225933 is the number to call. It's now 3 minutes to the 9 o'clock hour. Yes, it's 3 minutes to the 9 o'clock hour. You're tuned to the Guyanese morning time. I'm your host, Kiraki Amsterdam. We're talking about that second dose of the APNU that Bart Jagdeo talks about. Give us a second dose, man. But I'm sure with the second dose, Guyanese will be able to achieve much, much more. Who knows? The possibility is we each will get at $5,000 US per household. Good? We each may get that $5,000 US per household because more oil is pumping, more concessions have been given to ExxonMobil and so on. And so I'm sure that the possibility is under the coalition, under APNU, I see people say APNU, WPA. I'm sure Guyanese are going to be treated way better than they're treated by the PPP. You've seen it, you know. In 3 years of the coalition in office, you've seen major changes in your lives, in your well-being, in your quality of life, in the society. Compare that to 3 plus years of the PPP and see whether or not you wouldn't like another year, another term of the APNU in office. I certainly would like it. And like I said before, I didn't enjoy anything different to any citizen in this country when the coalition was in office. But I'm sure that my quality of life, like every citizen's, have been changed for the little that they were doing.
Coffee, I've seen your request, and of course, you know that there is not enough time for that presentation. Good morning. Welcome to the program.
Okay. Are we on live? Yes, is that what you're saying?
Yes, but I'm saying it's a minute to the close of the program, and so I won't be able to facilitate that request.
Okay, I'll continue next week, hopefully. Once again, good morning, everyone in the Guyanese diaspora, and good morning, all Guyanese. Now, Ron Delane talked about some discriminatory matters. So I just want to highlight on that and pick up from where Ron Delane left off. Sarah Lynch said in Guyana, as the ambassador, that the PPP administrating is violating, marginalizing African Guyanese women, marginalizing Amerindian women. Women are the heads of our households, so they are the heads of families. So families are being marginalized by the thousands. That's what she said officially as the ambassador in her report. Now, the point I want to raise, and I'll continue it next week, hopefully. Article 6, for those of us that live in the United States. Article 6 of the United States Civil Rights Act of 1964, Section 42, says, and I'm going to paraphrase, that federal monies coming from any federal agency of the United States of America cannot be used to facilitate discrimination. Now, which agency of America sends money every year by the millions to prop up discriminatory agencies in Guyana? Is the what? United States aid, U.S. aid. Agency number one that's using federal monies to finance discrimination in Guyana. Agency number two, United States State Department. Both of those state departments and the U.S. aid come under the Foreign Affairs Act of 1961. Both of these acts, the Civil Rights Act of 64 and the Foreign Affairs Act of 61, was put into existence by John F. Kennedy, president. It's still happening. Any monies that come from the United States to help Guyana in aid, Western Union, banks, military, anything that comes to Guyana has to come through the Foreign Affairs Act of 1961. Anything and everything. Even the embassies coming to Guyana has to come through the Foreign Affairs Act of 1961. My point is, any monies coming have to be used in accordance with American law. And the law that the PPP is violating in Guyana is the 1964 Civil Rights Act. You cannot use America's taxpayers' money to finance discriminatory institutions. You cannot use the aid to prop up and finance institutions that are practicing discrimination. That is why Sarah Lynch said, I see something here. The PPP is facilitating marginalization. Now, hopefully next week I'll be able to put on the screen what marginalization means. Marginalization means discrimination. What's happened in GCOM is marginalization. What's happened in Makkah is marginalization. Taking what happened in Plaisance and African lands is marginalization. Okay? The way Nigel used, explained in his PowerPoint presentation of how the government monies have been used to do preferential marginalization, to do preferential contracts. That's all marginalization. I could go, but I don't have the time. In a nutshell, the PPP is using federal monies that come from the United States to facilitate discrimination and facilitate discriminatory practices. And that is stark violation of at least 2 laws in the United States. And we need to say to Mr. Meeks, and we need to say to Hakeem Jeffries, and we need to say to the Congressional Black Caucus, for those who want to write letters, that this law must be enforced. Lastly, quickly, in the 1880s, America had a law that says Plessy versus Ferguson, whereby states were practicing Jim Crow discrimination using government monies, and says this law, separate but equal, can no longer stand because it discriminates against American citizens, blacks, whites, and all in between. It's in violation of the 14th Amendment, which goes against discrimination of people, nationalities, and origins. So the Brown versus Board of Education case stomped out, got rid of discrimination with the use of federal taxpayers' money in the United States. This is a Supreme Court case. So when we talk to Congress people in America, for those that live there, points out that are happening. And if they got a problem with it, tell them to consult Sarah Lynch's report as the evidence. The evidence. Once again, we'll continue to fight against the PPP. Thank you for 40-minute time, Mr. Amsterdam.
Thank you for calling. It's now 6 minutes past 9 o'clock, or it's time for us to wrap. And so, thank you for being a part of the program. Thank you for your inputs. And let us continue to fight, struggle, demand for another dose of the APNU in office, because I'm sure it has worked for Guyanese. I'm sure. Join me tomorrow morning for another program. And remember, Creole Friday this week is we go in and cook some 1-foot fowl with fried fish. Right? Hit us up for your support. Good. You need to move something. There is a box canter available for transportation services. You're planning a party. Easy Party Rental can provide you with almost everything you need for a party. Chairs, tables, tents, chair covers, tablecloths, sashes, napkins, etc. Hit me up through 6225933 and I'll give you the necessary link. Remember to support T&W Harris Butchery in East Rhineville Market, and of course support the bus trip by the People's Economic Development Society. But let's say by art.
You put in a 12-cent meatball.
Check out T&W Harris Butcher Shop, located in the East Rhineville Market Meat section. Call us on 609-2049. Ask for Rastaman. T&W Harris Butcher Shop brings you the best in fresh cut meats and lots more. From Mocha to Belgium on September 30th. Departure time from Mocha is 6 a.m. Farmers and entrepreneurs will interact. Market day exposition, domino competition, raffle drawing. Be part of it all. Contact us on 678-1269 or 646-4490, 686-9899. Let's take a bus ride from Mocha to Belgium. Tickets cost only $5,000. Be part of the attractions and activities, market day, domino competition, raffle drawing, and lots of fun. It's the People's Economic Development Society bus ride on September 30th.